Hello, friends. We're so glad to see you again. My name is Miss Kathy.
And my name is Miss Q.
And welcome to our ELD session. Our episode today focused on English language development, using words, using language to make ourselves stronger learners. We're so happy to see you today and to be your teachers. Today, for today's lesson, we're just going to give you a heads up. You will need a couple materials if you have access to them. If you don't, that's okay too. If you can get a couple sheets of paper and something to write with, that's all you need for today.
We're going to start today with a game to help you and Miss Kathy guess our topic for the day. We're going to play a game called 20 Questions. We might not get to 20 because Miss Kathy's pretty smart. She's going to ask me questions, yes or no, about an object that I have hidden. If she gets it right, I'm going to tell her yes. If her guess is not about my object, I'm going to tell her no. If she thinks that she knows what it is, she can take a guess. You can play along at home with us to see if you can guess the topic that we're talking about today too. Are you ready?
I have a question.
Yeah.
About 20 questions. It's just the one question though.
It'll count.
Okay, so I was thinking about types of questions that I'm allowed to ask.
They have to be yes or no.
So I can't say, what is your object?
You cannot say what is my object.
That would make it one question, right?
Right.
Okay, all right. I think I'm ready.
Okay, so Miss Kathy's going to ask the question. I'm going to say yes or no. You can play along with us at home and see if you can guess what we're going to be talking about today. Ready?
Yes. Okay, I'm so excited. I love this game. I've played it before with my sisters, and I know this can be tricky. My first question is it a real thing, or is it something people just dream about?
Oh, it definitely is. It's a real thing.
So something people can touch.
Yes.
Okay, so that's two technically. I got to be more careful about my questions. So something people can touch, and it's real. And is it in the universe?
It is in the universe.
Okay.
Yes.
So real, universe, those three questions were all along the same lines. I'm going to be more careful about my questions, Mrs. Q. This is tricky.
It is tricky.
So something real that I can touch. Will it fit in my arms?
It will not fit in your arms.
Bigger than my arms. Okay. Bigger than my arms.
Mm-hmm. Bigger.
Is it an animal?
Nope. Not an animal.
Not an animal. All right, friends. So we know it's something we can touch, will not fit in my arms, and it's not an animal. Okay. All right, so it's not an animal, but it could still be a living thing. Is it a living thing?
Oh, definitely a living thing.
It's a living
sure.
thing.
Yep.
Okay, and it won't fit in my arms. Is it a type of plant?
Oh, that's a tricky question. It's not a type of plant, but it does include plants. So kind of yes, kind of no.
Okay.
I know, you're getting closer.
Okay.
I can feel it.
Won't fit in my arms. Something I can touch. Not an animal. Not a plant. But it includes plants. Is it a type of habitat?
It is. It's definitely a habitat. So that means something lives there.
Okay. Something lives there, friends.
Yeah.
And we know, since we're playing against Miss Q, that a habitat could be like a desert. It could be a rainforest. It's a place where animals and plants live. So it's not an animal, it's not a plant, but it's a place where they live. Okay, is there a lot of rain there in this habitat?
Yes and no again. There could be rain there, but not everywhere.
Okay.
But it can rain there.
It can rain there. All right.
Yeah.
Friends at home, do you think you know what it is? Okay. I'm still a little stuck. I'm going to try. Is there land in this habitat?
Yes.
Okay. There is land there, so that means it's not just the ocean or the sea or a river. Okay, this habitat, this place where things live, is it mountainous? Does it have mountains?
It does have mountains.
It has mountains, okay.
Not everywhere, but some places.
Oh.
Yeah, some places yes, and some places no.
Is it in North America?
Yes.
These answers are confusing me.
Are you ready for a clue?
I think I'm ready for a clue.
Well, one of your questions was, is it in the universe? And the answer was yes. And it's a habitat in the universe, and people and things live there. So it's in the universe and things live there.
I think I know. Friends, go ahead and say it to anybody who's around you, what your guess is. I think I know. Is it the Earth?
Yay! Miss Kathy chose right. And today we're going to be talking all about the Earth. She did a great job with 20 questions. She didn't even need all 20 to get there. This is a globe of the Earth. We're not going to necessarily talk about globes. We're going to talk about real Earth today. Were you able to guess Earth? I hope you were. I'm so excited for the lessons today and to hear all about Earth and make some connections with words about our beautiful planet.
And what makes it so special, too, right?
Absolutely. All those great things and people living in this habitat.
So next up will be Miss Kathy, and we're going to be talking a little bit about what makes Earth special for me and you. And then we'll hear from Miss Q.
And after me, we're going to have a fun, delicious lesson with Miss Abby. So we hope you'll stay tuned.
Welcome back, friends. I wonder if how many of you were able to guess the word Earth. I think the Earth is pretty special, and I was trying to ask questions that kind of made me think about what makes an item unique and special when I was playing 20 questions with Miss Q. And now I kind of want to think with you about what does make our Earth special? What are some things about the place that we live, the place we call home, that we truly love? And so now's a good time to have your paper and pencil ready, whatever you're going to use to write and draw with. And I'm going to come over here to our big paper because we're going to make a diagram of the Earth that shows some things that are special about it. So have your paper and pencil ready because we're going to make this diagram together. Come on over. So when I'm thinking about the Earth and making a diagram, remember a diagram is an illustration that shows parts of something. So we're going to be showing in our illustration different parts of the Earth that are special to us. That's what makes it our diagram. We need to think, what shape should I draw on this piece of paper? Which is a little tricky because the Earth doesn't exist on a piece of paper. It's big and it's round, it's a sphere. And all I can really draw here is a circle, a two-dimensional circle, whereas the Earth is three-dimensional. So keeping that in mind, we're going to do our best. So the very first thing I want you to do, friends, on your piece of paper is to draw a large circle. And remember, it does not have to be perfect. Mine won't be perfect, but it doesn't mean I can't learn still. So now that I have the subject, the Earth, on my piece of paper, I'm going to add a title to this. So my diagram is the T-H-E, and I'm going to leave a big space, and I'm going to write Earth. And because we're talking about planet Earth, I'm going to capitalize my first letter. I'm going to capitalize that E. Earth. And since it's my title, I'm going to underline it. The Earth. And so I asked you to think about what makes the Earth special to you. What do you love about it? Do you love your home, for example? Do you love the ocean? Do you love mountains? All of these are ideas to get us started. So right now we just have a circle. But we know that the Earth has land and it has water. It has both. And so I grabbed a couple colors to help me make my illustration. You don't have to have colors. You could definitely do this with just your pencil. But if you have colors, that might help. So this next part is a really tricky part for me. And it's something I usually do in pencil first. And I trace over very carefully. But we're not aiming for perfection right now. But if I were doing this another day, I probably would. I'm going to try to draw our country, like our continent, really. Continent of North America. I'm going to use my globe to help me. If you want to pull up a map and you have like grown-ups permission on like a device, that might help you make a really great illustration too. Okay. Whew. I'm doing my best, friends. Please don't be mad. All right, and I love how on our globe it shows white for areas that are mostly ice right now, and then it shows islands too. I'm not going to show every island. There are a lot of them, but I'm going to show little islands to show that they do exist. And then I'm going to come down here and make South America. All right. All right, friends, I am trying to show that this is land, and that's why I use green. I think you get the idea that I have land. And then I'm going to draw Antarctica down here at the below, and I'm going to draw some ice here at the top. And I use black because white won't show up on my particular one. And so I'm thinking, what makes Earth, the Earth, special to me? And the very first thing I think about is home, where we live here in New Mexico. So I'm going to draw a star for New Mexico. And I'm going to draw a line out to the edge, and I'm going to label my star as home. H-O-M-E. And then I'm going to put right beneath it N-M in all caps so that I know I'm talking about New Mexico. Because anybody who's watching this video, wherever you happen to be, you could put your little star wherever home is for you. Maybe it's a place you lived in the past. Maybe it's where you live right now. And that could be anywhere. All right, friends. I'm thinking about other things that make the Earth special to me. And I really, really love mountains. Mountains make Earth special. And if we didn't have mountains, I think I'd be a little bit sad. I don't know. So I'm going to draw triangles that go up and down to indicate mountains on my map. If mountains are special to you, you can draw some. They do not have to be in the exact spot on Earth where mountains are. That's okay. They exist in a lot of places on Earth. And I'm going to draw a line out, and I'm going to label mountains. M-O-U-N-T-A-I-N-S. And I kept my blue, and this is important because I'm going to draw another thing that's really special to me about our Earth. I'm going to draw some like waves here in the big space where I know the ocean is. And I like the ocean for a couple reasons. I think it's beautiful to look at, but I also love all the creatures that live in the ocean. So I'm going to label the ocean as another thing that's truly special. And I'm going to write ocean. O-C-E-A-N. I like all of them. I'm going to add an S. Oceans. All right, friends. I added 3 things that are really special to me about our Earth. What are some things that you would like to add? Take a moment to think. What do you love? Is there a place that you'd love to visit that you're thinking about right now? I have an idea. I have always wanted to visit the rainforest in South America, the Amazon rainforest. Oop. I'm going to add the Amazon rainforest to mine because that's special to me. I'll show you where we can find those. So I'm going to draw some trees. The rainforest has lots and lots of trees and vines and special creatures in it. And I'm going to label my diagram, rainforests. And rainforests exist all over the globe, just like mountains. But these are the ones I'm going to label. R-A-I-N-F-O-R-E-S-T-S. Now, I haven't been to the Amazon rainforest. I haven't been to other rainforests, but I would love to go. So you can also think about, when you're making your diagram, some things that are special to you or places that you'd like to go. I also really, really, really want to go to Antarctica. All right, friends. So now that we have our diagram and we've thought a little bit about what makes a place special, the Earth special, we're going to read a poem together. And I wrote this poem earlier today. And I was just thinking, the Earth isn't just special to me. It's special to all people and all creatures of the Earth. I loved playing 20 Questions with Miss Q because it made me think not just about my habitat, but the habitat of many, many other creatures. So let's take a look at our poem over here. And the first thing I want to note is that the word poem might be a new word for you. And poem is a type of writing, so kind of like how you sometimes write with your teacher an informational text or an informational report or narrative writing. This is another way to write as an author. So I, as the author, chose to write a poem, and it looks a little bit different than a paragraph which you are used to seeing in a classroom. So let's take a look. The first thing that you'll notice is that there is a title. Earth is our special home. That's my title. And then you're going to notice that it kind of looks like paragraphs here, that the text is broken up by large spaces between it. Friends, that's called a stanza. And we're going to count how many stanzas we see. And I'm going to label the stanzas with a marker. When you see a poem and you're looking at it for the first time, this is a strategy to help you think about the poem. 1 stanza, 2, and it helps your brain to start reading it right away. 3 stanzas, 4, and 5. This one's going to be tricky to write on. My poem got a little long. I was very excited. So my poem has stanzas, and there are 5 of them. I used patterns when I was writing my poem. I used some of the same words over again. I'm going to read you our poem, and I want you to think, what patterns do I hear when we're reading it? What phrases and words come back again and again? Are you ready? Let's read. Earth is our special home. We call the earth our home. We love our friends and family. Earth is our special home. Plants and trees call earth their home. They love the rain and sunshine. Earth is their special home. Bugs and birds call earth their home. They love the open blue skies. Earth is their special home. Whales and sharks call the earth their home. They love the deep, cool oceans. Earth is their special home. Creatures of the earth love their home. The oceans, forests, deserts, and mountains, all are special to someone, somewhere. And that was the whole poem. You may have noticed when we were reading the poem that each stanza had lines that ended in a comma. And when the stanza ended, it ended with a period. That's how you know it's the end of our stanza. Friends, our poem was about what makes the earth special, not just to me personally, but also to other creatures. What we're going to do next with our poem is we are going to read to find the different creatures I talked about when I wrote my poem. So I want you to think, and we're going to be circling. So I want you to practice that at home. We're going to use our fingers to circle any of the inhabitants of Earth, the people, plants, and creatures that live on Earth. So we're going to start at the beginning, and we're listening for inhabitants. What are the people, creatures, and plants that are talked about in the poem? Let's begin. We call the earth our home. Who is we? We love our friends and family. Earth is our special home. In this, we is humans. That's how I intended it. So I'm going to circle we, and I can make a small note that I meant humans. I'm going to make that really small, and I wrote the word humans there. Earth is our special home. Plants and trees call Earth their home. Plants and trees. I'm going to circle that. Use your finger and circle that at home, friends. They love the rain and sunshine. Earth is their special home. Bugs and birds call the earth their home. I'm going to circle bugs and birds. They love the open blue skies. Earth is their special home. Whales and sharks call the earth their home. Circle whales and sharks, friends. Whoop. They love the deep, cool oceans. Earth is their special home. Creatures of the earth love their home. I'm going to circle creatures. The oceans, forests, deserts, and mountains are all special to someone, somewhere. All right, friends, we're going to read it again, but this time we're looking for what is special. And this time we're going to underline. So let's practice that. Everybody, underline. And I want you to do that when you hear the object that is special to the subject, which is humans, plants and trees, bugs and birds, whales and sharks, and creatures. Ready? Underline. We call the earth our home. We love our friends and family. So we love friends and family. Earth is our special home. Plants and trees call the earth their home. They love the rain and sunshine. Underline. Earth is their special home. Bugs and birds call the earth their home. They love the open blue skies. Underline. Earth is their special home. Whales and sharks call the earth their home. They love the deep, cool oceans. Underline. Earth is their special home. Creatures of the earth love their home, the oceans, forests, deserts, and mountains. 4 things. Ooh, it's going to be tricky for me. Are all special to someone, somewhere. Friends, this is our special poem about the special earth that we live on. And I want to say thank you for reading and thinking about it so carefully with me today. I wanted to end with one more thought, though. We've been saying the word earth a lot. You've heard it so many times. But I'm actually holding 2 earths right now. Do you see what's inside of this glass bowl? It's brown. If I were to use my 5 senses, I would not taste this. Just a heads up. Maybe that's a clue. You might call this dirt. You might call it soil. But some people call this, what I have here, earth. Earth is also, there's 2 meanings for this word. It is also what things grow in. It is soil. It is dirt. Earth, with an uppercase, is the planet we live on. But if you have it lowercase and you see it in a book, it actually means dirt, that you can grow plants, seeds in. And I actually took this from my garden this morning because I'm trying to grow something in the earth. I'm trying to grow some sunflowers. If you have the opportunity to grow something, now is the perfect time because it's spring. And spring is an interesting word too, because it means this time of year when things are coming up and they're coming alive. But it can also mean that there's something in your shoe that makes you jump a little higher, or in a trampoline that makes you jump. And so words can be tricky. They can have multiple meanings, and you have to listen for the context, what's being said around the word, to know which earth I'm talking about. So I've got 2 earths here. And at home, I want you to point to the one you think I'm talking about. I'm going to use a practice sentence. Are you ready? The earth is a special habitat to many creatures. Which earth do you think I'm talking about? That's a tricky one. I meant this one, but the earth can also be a habitat for worms. So if I said, which one do you think I'm talking about? All right, I'm going to plant a seed in the earth to grow a sunflower. Which one do you think? That's right, it's the soil. Friends, Miss Q is going to talk to you next about spring and about using words to describe a particular time of year here on our earth. Have fun today learning, friends.
Good morning and welcome back. We've had a great morning so far talking about earth and earth. Today we're going to continue our learning today talking about spring. And I have a book today called And Then It's Spring. The author of this book is Julie Fogliano and the illustrator is Aaron Steed. It's published by Scholastic Books. It's spring right now in New Mexico, and lots of things are changing. Let's find out about this book. First, you have brown. All around, you have brown. It does look brown in the winter when not a whole lot is growing. The mountains are kind of brown. There's no green grass yet because it's winter. Then there are seeds. Miss Kathy talked a little bit about planting seeds. Lots of things grow from seeds out of the ground. And a wish for rain. And then it rains. Have you ever seen it rain in the spring? There's usually rain in the spring to help all the new seeds that have fallen start to grow. If you don't have rain, usually that's the time when all of the sprinklers start coming on, or you have to water things that are around your yard to make sure that they're going to start to grow. Sometimes even the snow starts to melt, which causes wetness to help things grow. And then it's still brown. True. But hopefully, very possible, it starts to change the brown. And what is a little tiny green? No, it's just brown. Did you know how long it takes for seeds to change from seeds to buds and to actually pop out of the ground? That can sometimes take weeks of time. Yep. And then a week. This boy is very persistent. He continues to plant his seeds, even though he doesn't know if it's coming out of the ground yet. And then you worry about those seeds. Do you think it's going to grow? It's still pretty brown. And if maybe it was the birds. Have you noticed more birds coming out now that it's spring? And did those birds eat my seeds? Sometimes you wonder that. Or maybe it was the bears and all that stomping, because bears don't read my sign that it's a garden, and they say things like, please don't stomp here, these are my seeds. But the bear doesn't know that. I'm glad I don't have bears in my yard. And then it's more weeks of waiting. Oh my goodness. This is a great illustration. You can see under the ground all the things that are happening. You can see all of the animals and creatures that are under the earth looking at those seeds. And you can start to see the seeds as they get roots into the ground. And it's still brown, but you can tell that it's going to be green. You can hope that it's going to be green. You can put your ears to the ground and close your eyes and think about what it's going to look like when it turns green. And then it's still more weeks of waiting. He's starting to put up his swing because it's time to get warm and go outside and play in the sun. But still nothing is growing. And on the sunny day, it happens. Right after a rainy day. And you walk outside to check on all that is brown. But the brown isn't around. And now you have green all around. Look at all of the things that are turning green in this picture to let us know that spring is here. The grass is green. The plants are green. You can see the garden starting to grow. You can see the tiny buds on the trees so that the trees are going to have leaves soon. You can see the birds in the trees that are eating. They've come out because it's finally sunny. And the little boy is so happy playing in the sun because it's finally warm to be outside. He doesn't even have on shoes because he can walk around and it's nice and warm. Nothing is cold on his feet. All of the things that happen in the springtime make me think about how I'd like to describe spring using words. And I chose some words that might be new words to you, and you might have words to describe as well. I'm going to show you some pictures. My first picture that I have here is similar to the one in the book. It's a picture of green grass and trees and flowers. And I chose the word blooming to describe this picture because the flowers are blooming and the trees are blooming. You can see the white trees in the back before they get leaves as the flowers bloom before the leaf. And as I look at this picture, it makes me think that spring is here. This is a great picture that helps me define spring. What's another word that you can think of when you look at this picture to describe it? Tell somebody at home or think it in your brain. Or do you like the word blooming as well? It could be growing. It could be sprouting. Maybe just the word spring all by itself could be a word that you think of as you start to think about this picture. Do you have a different picture in mind when you hear the word blooming? I have another picture here to describe spring. It's the word chirping. What do you think of when you think of the word chirping? My picture is of birds in a tree, and I hear the birds chirping. And sometimes in the morning, I can hear them and they wake me up. That's one of my favorite signs of spring is I hear the birds chirping in the window. I go outside and I can hear them. I watch them fly around. Sometimes they're big birds, sometimes they're little birds. Do you ever hear chirping? When you see birds in a tree, what word would you describe? Do you use chirping as well? You can say that word to somebody at your house. You can write it down on a paper. You can draw a picture of it if you wanted to. What do you think of the word chirping? Maybe the birds are singing their song when they're chirping to me. Here's another picture to share with you today. This is fields and fields of flowers. And I chose the word fragrant. What does the word fragrant mean to you? Have you ever heard that word before, fragrant? Fragrant is when you can smell and something grabs your nose and it might have a sweet smell like flowers and they're fragrant. Maybe it's something that you've smelled before, a familiar smell in the garden that can be fragrant. Sometimes even the smell of the dirt or the earth can be fragrant. I enjoy that smell. When you look at this picture, what word would you describe? How would you describe this picture to somebody? I also see the blue sky, but I see lots of colorful flowers. And I do like that word fragrant. I wonder if you could use that word with somebody at your house and surprise them as you used the word fragrant and taught them that word. Here's another picture about spring that I wanted to share with you. A kite flying up in the sky. And I chose the word invigorating because it's so exciting to go outside and fly a kite. And invigorating is something that makes you excited and happy. It's something that you really want to go and do because it brings joy to you. Flying a kite is kind of that way. So when I go outside in the spring, there's usually quite a bit of wind. And flying kites is one of our favorite things to do as a family. So we go outside and we fly kites, and it's very exciting and invigorating. What do you think of when you see a kite up in the sky? Have you ever seen a kite in the sky? Maybe it's something you need to go and look for, or go and try and do by yourself. Find a kite, fly it up high. How does that make you feel? What words would you use to describe that? I chose the word invigorating because it's so exciting. I have some more pictures here. Oh, this is one of my favorite trees that happens in the spring. And I chose two words. I chose growing and changing because I think they kind of go together, growing and changing. And this tree is one of my favorites, and I call it the popcorn tree. If you were ever in one of my kindergarten classes, we used to make popcorn trees with real popcorn because this tree has the white flowers that pop out at you. And I think they look like popcorn. When I'm driving around the city and I see them, I think I could drive up and grab some popcorn off of these trees. So this is one of my favorite trees. And this tree grows and it changes from a brown tree to a white tree with white flowers. And then the white flowers eventually become green leaves. So it's growing and changing, and it will change for a very long time. What's something you think of when you see this tree? I bet now on you're going to think that it's a popcorn tree too. Don't eat the flowers. They don't taste like popcorn. But what other words could you use to describe this picture? As you look at it and think about it, have you ever seen one before? It's always changing. One of my favorite trees. I have only one more picture to show you today. And this is a picture of sprouting. This might be what trees look like right now at your house. They still look very brown. But if you look really close, get really up close to those sticks up in the tree, the branches coming off, look really close and you can start to see tiny little balls that are sprouting either leaves or flowers off of the trees. What does that make you think of? What's going to happen as those leaves continue to grow and change, as those sprouts get bigger and bigger? I bet you could go out and do some observing in trees around your neighborhood or in your yard and see how they change day by day or week by week, similar to the book that we read today, so that you could see how things are changing in your yard. What are they growing into? You could probably do the same thing with flowers or seeds that you've planted in the ground, into the earth. See how they start to change and grow. All of these words help me to think about things in a different way. Hopefully I've shared some words with you today that are a little bit different and maybe taught you something about how I use words to describe things. And I wonder how you use words to describe things. Wouldn't it be fun if you could use some of my words today and share them with people at your house and surprise them with language that they've never heard you say before? Choose one of these words, make it your word of the day, and see if you can surprise somebody at your house. Hopefully you've enjoyed learning a little bit about spring with me today. And we're so excited with Miss Abby coming up that you're going to get to make a delicious spring salad with words. I'm sure you can't wait to hear her. Hopefully you'll come back for more lessons with us tomorrow, and thanks for joining.
Good morning, learners. I'm Miss Abby, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about fruit. Do you like fruit? I do. Earlier, Miss Q read about spring. What happens during spring? Well, lots of things begin to grow, and then we get to eat them. Do you know what this fruit is? This is a honeydew. Can you say honeydew? Good. Do you know what this fruit is? It's a tangerine. Say tangerine. Good. Do you know what this fruit is? That's right. It's a pear. Do you know what this fruit is? It's a lemon. I don't even have to ask. You knew this was an apple. And look what I have. A banana. I also have another banana. All of these fruits are also nouns. Nouns are things that you can touch. I can touch a honeydew. I can touch a tangerine. I can touch an apple. I can touch a pear. I can touch a lemon. I can touch a banana. Nouns are things that you can touch. Are all of these fruits the same? No, they're not the same. How are these fruits different? What we're going to do today is use our senses to describe how these fruits are different. Later on, when I get home, I'm going to cut up the fruits to make them into a fruit salad. That's when you take lots of different fruits and combine them in a bowl. But for now, I need to think about which fruits would taste delicious in my fruit salad. We have 5 senses. Do you know what they are? Earlier, we talked about the sense of sight. That's what you see. We also talked about hearing. The sense of hearing is what you hear. What about? That's what you smell, exactly. Your sense of smell. Using our mouth, that's our sense of taste. And our last one, we can use our whole body for this, but a lot of times we just use our hands. That's our sense of touch. We have 5 senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. When we describe these nouns, we're going to use adjectives to describe them. The way we come up with adjectives is using our senses. First of all, this is a pear. Just by looking, using my sense of sight, what words can I use to describe this pear? Is it a square? A square pear? No, it's not square. It is an oval shape. It's kind of round. Oh, now that I'm using my sense of touch, it's very smooth. It's firm. It's green. It's greenish yellow, actually. I can see a little green, I can see a little yellow, and even some brown too. This pear is green. Some people might say, this pear is yellowish green. This pear is round. This pear is smooth. Today, we're going to use different sentences to be flexible. Flexible with how we use our language. In English, there's different ways to say the same thing. I have this sentence frame here. Can you read it? The blank is blank. This is called a sentence frame. We are going to fill in the blanks with our words. The pear is green. Another adjective we can use is round. The pear is round. When I touched it, it feels very firm, not soft and squishy. The pear is firm. Good. Now, I want to be flexible with my language. So I have another sentence frame. can you read this? I can see a blank blank. I underlined the word see with a squiggle because we're going to use our sense of sight to explain different fruits. I can see I'm going to put my pear at the end of my sentence. I have a blue rectangle, and I also have a blue rectangle here. That means that's where my adjectives can go. They're at different places in the sentence. Before I said, the pear is green. Now I'm going to be flexible. I can see a green pear. They're both correct. They're two different ways to say the same thing. I can see a green pear. What are some other things some other words we might use to describe this pear? I can see a round pear. You're exactly right. The pear is round. I'm saying very similar words, but I'm flexible in how I use them in sentences. Let's keep going. What should I use next? I like this one. This, again, is a honeydew. If I use my sentence frame, it doesn't even fit on the line. The honeydew is, what is something that you see? Did you say yellow? That's what I was thinking too. The honeydew is yellow. The honeydew is yellow. You're exactly right. Let's get flexible, friends. I can see a honeydew yellow? No, I have to put my adjective first. I can see a yellow honeydew. We're being flexible. When we say our sentences this way, our describing word comes first, and our noun comes at the end. I can see a yellow honeydew. Are there other words that I can use to describe this honeydew? It's very heavy. I'm using my sense of touch for that. It's heavy. It's hard. Hard things make noises when you hit them. It's hard. It's also firm. It is not squishy. Let's see. It's shaped like an egg as well. On the inside, I know these fruits. They're very sweet and soft. It's one of my favorites. We can use lots of adjectives to describe honeydew. One adjective that we used was yellow. Can you see any other fruits that are yellow? Yeah, you're right. The honeydew is yellow. The lemon is yellow. And the banana is yellow too. The honeydew is yellow. The lemon is yellow. And the banana is yellow too. Are you ready to get flexible? How can we talk about the yellow honeydew using this sentence frame? I can see a yellow honeydew. I can see a yellow lemon. I can see a yellow banana. You're right. we can be flexible with how we describe different fruits. Now, when I'm thinking about my fruit salad, I want flavors that go really well together. I want my fruit salad to be sweet. I don't want my fruit salad to be too sour. Do you know which of these fruits is very sour? The lemon. The lemon is very sour. It is yellow. The lemon is small. But the lemon is too sour for my fruit salad. I like lemon for lots of things, but not for my salad. Now, I have 2 bananas here. These 2 bananas are a very similar size. Look. They're a very similar shape, kind of like a smile. But they have different colors. This is a brown banana. I can see a brown banana. How can we use this sentence frame? The banana is brown. Did you know that some people think that it's time to throw this banana away? No. I can smell it's actually very sweet smelling on the outside. I can't smell this one as well. This banana is not good for my fruit salad, but it is perfect for a smoothie. This banana is perfect for making banana bread, but it's not perfect for my fruit salad. I'm going to save this banana to make something special with later. Now, my remaining fruits would all be pretty good in a fruit salad. A yellow honeydew, an orange tangerine, a yellow banana. Oh, this is a red and yellow apple. It's striped, it's hard. There's lots of different ways to describe this apple. And my pear. We've done a really good job of knowing how to describe these sentences using these sentence frames. But what if I wanted to make longer sentences? I'm going to start with this one. I can see a blank, blank, period. There's a period at the end of the sentence. I'm going to erase that period. So I take the period off, and I'm going to erase my other sentence frame. Just like magic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to combine 2 different things that I can see. I just love the shape of this honeydew. And this. I will move these fruits away. What can you see here? I can see a yellow honeydew and a green pear. Exactly. I can see a yellow honeydew and a green pear. What I did is I combined those 2 sentences using the word and. On my sentence frame, I'm going to write, I can see a yellow honeydew and a green pear. Then I will put my period. What I've just done is I've connected 2 little sentences into one big long sentence. I used adjectives to describe my nouns. Wow, that's a lot of language. I wanted to be really flexible with how I described, because sometimes when we use language to talk with other people, it's helpful to use adjectives to describe nouns. I want you to look around your house. What are some nouns that you can describe? Remember, nouns are things that you can touch. At my house, I have 2 dogs, but they don't look the same. I have a black dog and a gray dog. Those are adjectives and nouns. I hope you practice speaking about things all over your home. Thank you so much for joining us today for At Home with APS. Happy describing!